George Luchiri Wajackoyah is a legal practitioner based in Nairobi, Kenya, and an independent political campaigner. Wajackoyah was also a presidential candidate in Kenya's 2022 general election held on 9 August, 2022. He ran under the Roots Party of Kenya, which supports the legalization of bhang in Kenya. He first announced he wanted to run for the presidency in the 2012 general election but withdrew from the race without explanation. Wajackoyah is also the source of the shot in State House theory in respect of the murder of Dr. Robert Auko, Kenya's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who was shot dead near his farmhouse in Koru, Western Kenya, on 13 February, 1990. Early life. Wajackoyah was born in the village of Indangalasia near Mumias, Western Kenya. His date of birth is given variously as 24 October, 1959, Uganda at some time in 1960 or 1961, at St. Mary's Hospital in Jinja. He belongs to the Luhya community. His father was Tito Ololo Jakoya, and his mother was Melania Makoka. He was abandoned at 16 years following his parents' divorce and became a street boy in Nairobi, before a well-wisher came to his rescue and paid his secondary school fees. Education. Between 1969 and 1975, George Wajackoyah studied at the local primary school in Bija Township. Between 1976 and 1979, he studied for his O-levels at the City High School in Nairobi and thereafter went on to study for his A-levels between 1980 and 1981. After high school, Wajackoyah also graduated as a police officer after studying policing and criminal investigation at Kenya Police Training College in Kiganjo. He claims to have 17 degrees including the following academic qualifications. Career. Wajackoyah is also the founding partner of Luchiri and Amp Company Advocates and has practiced law for at least 25 years. He is also a criminal justice lecturer at United States International University, USIU. Politics. George Wajackoyah first announced he wanted to run for the presidency of Kenya in the 2012 general elections but withdrew from the race without explanation. In June 2022, George Wajackoyah was cleared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to be a candidate for the Roots Party of Kenya in Kenya's presidential election held on 9 August, 2022. His running mate in the 2022 presidential elections was Justina Wami, although they later fell out with each other. In 2022, the Roots Party presidential candidate launched his manifesto touching on a 10-point agenda. Wajackoyah said that his priority would be to engage in activities that can generate enough income for Kenya in a bid to clear the country's public debt, which is almost hitting 10 trillion Kenyan shillings. Wajackoyah did not take part in the televised 2022 presidential debate that was held on 26 July, 2022 because the organizers refused to embrace his preferred format for the debate. Wajackoyah received only 51 votes in his Indangalasia primary school polling station in Matungu constituency, Kakamega County, while his opponents Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto managed 799 and 109 votes respectively. Controversies. The murder of Dr. Robert Auko. Wajackoyah was the source of the shot in State House theory in respect of the murder of Dr. Robert Auko, a topic he has recently surfaced during his campaign period. At the time, Wajackoyah alleged that Biwott had shot Auko in State House as the late President Moi watched. The story appeared in the Sunday Times on 26 April, 1992 under the headline "Moi Watched Cabinet Minister's Execution." In the article, Wajackoyah alleged that President Daniel Arap Moi, Kenya's then Energy Minister Nicholas Biwott, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Hezekiah Oyugi, were directly and personally involved with Auko's murder, which he said occurred at State House in Nakuru. He went on to allege that Biwott had shot Auko in front of President Moi after Auko had been beaten senseless. Auko's body, Wajackoyah said, had then been taken back 90 miles and dumped near the minister's farmhouse at Koru. Wajackoyah said that he had pieced together his account of the murder from his knowledge from telephone interceptions and special branch files for whom, he claimed, he worked for at the time of the murder. Legalization of marijuana in Kenya. Wajackoyah has been vocal about legalizing marijuana in Kenya for economic use. He included it in his manifesto, saying it will help Kenya manage its ballooning debt. According to The Advocate, his government will earn 3 billion Kenyan shillings per 1,000 acres from growing and exporting marijuana to a readily available market in the US. Snake farming. Wajackoyah has said he will promote snake farming so that the venom can be used for medicinal purposes and to promote agriculture. In June 2022, the Roots Party presidential candidate launched his manifesto, touching on a 10-point agenda. Wajackoyah said that his priority would be to engage in activities that can generate enough income for Kenya in a bid to clear her public debt, which is almost hitting 10 trillion Kenyan shillings. Exporting dog meat. Wajackoyah also mentioned that if elected as president, he will ensure Kenya starts exporting dog meat, saying that a kilogram of dog meat costs 6 times more than the price of a kilogram of goat meat. Petition. Wajackoyah's controversial utterances have seen a petition filed in court to block him from running for presidency on grounds of mental soundness. Mental health. In July 2022, a Kenyan lawyer, Bernard Okello, filed a petition in court to have Wajackoyah barred from running for the 2022 general elections on grounds of being mentally unfit. Bernard Okello in his petition alleged that Wajackoyah's conduct at times puts into question his soundness of mind, adding that his conduct is likely to bring disrepute to the office of the president. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. About celebrities.